going. I told y'all it's the N.y.a show. Birthday saga, shout out 30th birthday. Still doing the things that I love. So forever blessed with and everything I got going on. I promise y'all that I can't never take that away. You can't take that away from me at all. So I truly want to reflect on 30 years of life just to say that, wow, you know what I'm saying? It's truly see how far that you come, where you came from, and you reflect back on your life in different instances. It's truly amazing. And me being so aware of what's going on in the world today, man, I'm truly extremely blessed by all means when it comes to how my life has been, my upbringing, learning about my family, learning talking with my father. When you thinking, man, I used to want to go when I go to school. I'm wearing the shoes, they ain't got no name brand, none of that other stuff. And then when you talk to your dad, you'll hear a story where it's like, yo, it used to be time where you just had like a little flippity flop. That's the shoe, and that was your like shoe. Like there wasn't no artist. You lucky to have even got the. I'll take the name to have a full shoe. You know, covering through water, rain, you know, heat versus different conditions. So I truly reflect on my life, and I'm forever thankful and grateful to make it here to this point here and continue to support the show as you guys always do. Let me see. I make it on my live. I think Instagram, no, not Instagram, YouTube just let us all go live at this point. I'm gonna see if I can get on there. I ain't got my subscribers up like they want to, but I can still go live. I'm gonna see if I can do that. As well as The Spirit Arrested, which is an award-winning short film by W3 Film, starring my beautiful wife, Peace _ Peace. The E's that are supposed to be in the word peace are threes. Please be sure that y'all shout out. Like, share, comment, subscribe, put this on your TikTok, YouTube, your Instagram, as well as How I Live Best Life and Pursue Dreams. The interview with Breyonna and talking about Ajay Tambe, which is also available on Spotify. Give me 40 of the minutes and listen to my wife tell a story, as well as the previous show I did was about the bio life. Fed, you know, everybody's fed up. Business owners are fed up. Everybody can't get back to work. They're scared to come over there. Nobody want to be out there in hell and that. You don't be working that, but you got to eventually. It's a mess, but let's see what comes from this. The people went up there to the state capitol and they were pretty pissed off. So let's see what happens with that. As well as today, I watched what's that? 60 Minutes. That Waltz and Harris were on there talking, and I thought that it was like a pressing email, not email. It was a pressing interview in a way. It was like if I had somebody that, if I've done certain things or I have a track record, they would be like, you know, I'm not your homie. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not your homie today. Great. You know what I'm saying? I really want to try to hold you accountable for some things that you said or whatever you plan. What is your plan? And that's really the energy that I got throughout the whole thing. It wasn't like a hate thing. Like, you know, when I came to debate, a lot of times that last debate that we had, the only presidential debate that we can get out of these two, it was more like, no, nigga, you wrong, you wrong, you know, just like on one side. But on this one, it was just sitting down with somebody that I would think over at 60 Minutes, you know, they still wanted to paint their own narrative because when Kamala is talking, they had a voiceover going and then it lead back into the question. So it was a lot. I don't know if you've seen, it was only 20 minutes. It was a 60 minutes exclusive, but it was only 20 minutes. So please be sure that if you did watch that, leave your comments on what were your thoughts on how she did. I felt like it was one of those interviews where I'm trying to, you know, I said I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. You know, all one of them. You go watch the video. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So in the spirit of that, what I'm talking about, how we are polling, how Black voters are polling. What polling show about get this out of the way about Black voters. So when it comes to everybody that check out the show, I'm letting y'all know this is from a close to 2,000 pool of people, and I still like this because I like when people go out and do the random interviews with people on the street. Like, how you feel about How you feel about Donald Trump? Just so you get honest opinions from everyday people, and it's not so much just narrative that you've seen on the internet. So, what are the polling showing about how Black voters are getting ready to turn out for the election in November? That's really close. So Black registered voters have an overwhelmingly positive view of the Vice President Kamala Harris, but there's less sure that she would change the country for the better. So that's what I kind of got from different things I read throughout the story that was like, yeah, we feel like this may be the better candidate, but do we see that our lives are going to extremely change in comparison to what it is now after the election? It wasn't a big push into that. All right. Polls found that despite the dramatic gap in views of the candidates, Black voters are less certain of whether Harris would set the country on a better trajectory or would make substantial change in their lives. Only about half of Black voters say would change the country for the better describes Harris well or extremely well, while 3 in 10 say it describes her somewhat well, and about 2 in 10 say it describes her not well at all, not good at all. And only about half believe the outcome of the election will have a great deal or a big impact on their actual life, which they say is kind of view of overall Americans. The Democratic Party is not strong enough for me, said Raina Johnson, 53, a safety case manager in Chicago. Johnson predicted that Harris would try to do something for the people, but felt that Harris would be limited, as with Barack Obama, because the Republican Party shut him down. I think just like I said when I did like a show or two ago, that when you get out of the hole, it got to just be us circle, and then you start going door to door. Like I was watching Huey P. Newton talk today when he went door to door throughout the whole neighborhood. It ain't just black, white, Mexican, Spanish. We all said that we're trying to get this done in this area. What are you going to do? Because it's not just our vote from our neighborhoods that you're losing, but you're losing the votes from over there, and over there. So let's not say that when people say, all right, we're going to include more people into what we're trying to do, that you can't actually get something done, because we've seen them get it done. When it came to them stimmies and all that, that was a moment where they said that, all right, we want to work together and get everything done, because we know that the people really, really need some help. Let's just work together and get it done. It can be done at other times too. You just have to want to actually get it done. When asked which candidate would do a better job about the top issues, including the economy, healthcare, crime, black voters said the answer was Harris. 8 in 10 black voters said the economy is one of the most important issues, but about 3/4 of black voters said healthcare was one of the most important issues, compared to slightly more than half registered voters. They were also more likely than the electorate as a whole to say gun violence and crime were the top issues. All of those areas, as well as other topics like abortion and climate change, Harris held a commanding advantage over Trump amongst black voters. The Trump campaign has stepped up some outreach to black communities this year. The former president's campaign believes that his message on the economy, immigration, and traditional values can make notable inroads with the Democrats' traditional base of support among black voters, especially younger black men. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of younger black men are not just stepping to this tune of just, oh, we would, Kamala, just because that's what everybody's telling us is the only option that we got here. There's still a lot of people that are undecided, or people that are with Trump, and it's just that it gets weeded out because there's so many different environments where you'll go in and they're only talking to certain groups, certain group and certain perspectives. So you would think that it's not like that, but see how they say, especially younger black men, I want to say that we don't 100%, even in this story, I hear from, I think we don't hear about a man, woman, but they're all up in age. They're not necessarily young. They're not necessarily young, as I would say, when it comes to young voters, people that are 18 this year and that can vote. There are signs that some group of black voters see Harris as a strong figure, though. Black women voters and older black voters were especially likely to describe Harris as someone who would fight for the people, compared to black men and younger voters. So that just plays into what I was saying even more. Black voters view Trump negatively, and some are skeptical about Biden. The black people overall are skeptical about Biden. We don't even know. There's so many things that Joe Biden is still doing on a daily basis that they ain't even reporting that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's still like, it's really like there's no, like, it's like Kamala is the president, the incumbent, because they're not reporting. Nobody's, on the morning show, they ain't talking about Biden out there with the people. Nobody cares about what he's doing on a mainstream level. It's really like Kamala's in that place. We're trying to see what's going to go on with this election. Everybody's not too much worried about Biden, if I'm being honest. I think we're headed in the right direction if Kamala gets in there, said Rosalind Coble. She's 63 out of North Carolina, but if Donald Trump gets in there, it's going to be bad. He already told us that what he's going to do. He said he's going to be a dictator, and that was that whole statement of how he said, you know what, just one day one, I'm coming down, I'm going to put it down. And then just a dictator for one day. I don't know if y'all remember them comments, but I remember them comments. In a sign of how former President Joe Biden's decision to withdraw, that changed everything. It made everybody feel like, oh man, there's something here for us, something to put the pretty pictures and the colors with. Because I guarantee if you catch most people on the street, you ask them, okay, what's the top 3 things? What do you think that this candidate is going to do for you when Joe Biden was running versus when Kamala was running? And it would still be kind of, Joe Biden comments would be more like, yo, the nigga old, man, like, what is he doing? And then with Kamala, it's on some shit like, yo, she's been in there kind of with, buddy. What is she doing? You want to get these kind of things that come out of people's mouths. The Trump campaign said it's been conducted listening sessions and community events in black neighborhoods and cities like Philadelphia, Detroit, Milwaukee. I think that he had to do a better job, like JD Vance is doing is get out there in front of every audience that you can, because Donald Trump was the same person that was running for president and took up more news than the actual president did, that was reporting on what he was doing on his campaign trail, what was going on in his trial, more than they were talking about the actual president. He wasn't even the president. So if you want to be out there in front of people, you might want to go ahead and get out there. November is creeping up on everybody. What are you truly trying to do for people? What is the plan? You're not, the message is not getting, like I said, JD Vance is out there on the trail, and he's doing a good job doing what he has to do for his role. But I don't think, even with Trump pulling out of the whole 60-minute interview, that was the best look. You need to be getting out there, kind of showing people what side is on, because even reading from this story, which is a very small base of Black voters, it still seems too negative towards Donald Trump. Ain't nobody saying nothing good, or they didn't talk to anybody that had anything good to say. You got to think about that as well. So I want to go down to the bottom and still mention what I said about who this information I read about the voters was coming from. The poll of 1,771 registered voters was conducted September 12th through 16th of this year using a sample drawn from N.y.a.'s probability-based Ameris Peak panel, which is designated to be a representation of the U.S. population. The margin of sample error for registered voters is plus or minus 3.4 percentage points. This is a story by Matt Brown. So shout out to Matt Brown. Let me know what y'all thoughts are on this story. Where are you as a voter when it comes to this election? Where are you planning to go when it comes November, when you go in that booth? It's the N.y.a show. Like I said, make sure you leave comments, share, and let me know what y'all thoughts are. Did you see the 60-minute interview? Please go and watch that video and tell me what your thoughts are on that 60-minute video, because it was not what everybody probably expected it to be either. It's the N.y.a show, and I appreciate the continued support. It's the N.y.a show.